What is up, Comic Fam? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and it's Sunday night. That means this is at Week's End, but this is going to be the New Year's special. It is now 2022, so we are going to take a spoiler-filled look back at 2021, talk about some of the highs, the lows, and go over some cool stuff. But before we do any of that, let's hit that intro. Huge shout out and thank you to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the Legion Loot Box. That's the monthly giveaway for the channel members, which we will be doing the live drawing for tonight. So definitely stick around for that. Also, if you're looking to get anything cleaned or pressed, hit up Justin's Comics over on Instagram. He can take care of you for as little as $10 a book. He can submit directly to CGC and CBCS for you. If you use that promo code We Are Legion, you can take advantage of the buy two, get one free promo that we have going on right now and hit him up quick. He's just got an influx of stuff for that George Perez signing. But let's bring in my good friend from the Great White North, my heterosexual life partner, the comic vet. What is up, Chris?
How you doing, Mark?
Doing good, man. Dude, I'm excited to be here. It's 2022.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I can't, it's easy to look back and speak of the negatives, but a lot of good stuff happened this year. A lot of good stuff happened this year.
It was a super solid year. And you were able to share in probably one of the biggest highlights that I didn't even get to participate in, of getting to meet so many people in the community, as did our good friend from the Evil Lair, Pocan Joe, with all y'all going to C2E2.
What's going on, folks?
Doing all right tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. 2021's over. 2022 will probably be even a bigger disaster, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media where people are like giving 2021 the finger as they're leaving it. I'm like, did y'all forget about 2020? Like, thank God for 21, but 2020, like that was like, I feel like it's been, we've had a nice like curve, like to the good, like, where's everyone's gratitude these days?
Yeah.
I know it was a rough year for a lot of people. Things still aren't back to the way they were. They never will be. We'll have a new norm. It comes eventually, but it still was a better year than 2020. I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
Let's say hey to some of the people in the chat. We got 17 people watching right now. Flo Dameron was up in there. Member of the Legion. Thank you for stopping in. We got Digger Jim, another member of the Legion. Mr. Chip Getler, the White Shadow himself, Legionnaire. I got this from DJ. Every time he went by someone, he says, Link Squad. Link Squad. We got TM Nerdy. This is actually Chris's next door neighbor.
It's
something that separates him in a body of water.
Yes. And
another
a couple mountain ranges too, but yes. We're next door neighbors.
Remy Q Studios, what it do? Another member of the Legion. We got Paul Rodgers up in here under his other account, the Augusta Book Exchange, but Paul is a member of the Legion.
Happy New Year, Paul.
What is going on, Cade? We got Cade over from the Saturday Morning Comics. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you, Cade. Steven C's up in here, another member of the Legion. My good friend Hefe is up in here. We are Legion AF, another member of the Legion. Mars Comics, how are you doing? Happy New Year, member of the Legion. Angel, what is happening? I think it's the first time Miss Remy Q has graced my chat. That it was so
Great
funny
review.
because I was about to say we had some family over for dinner tonight that we didn't get to see New Year's or something. And as we're sitting here just BSing, I'm sitting there scrolling through HBO Max. And I turn on Matrix Resurrections for no good reason. Like, I just want to see it. I just want to see what it looks like after like I've sat on it for a minute. And it looks worse. It really does. And as I'm doing this, Remy hits me up and says he's about to do a premiere video here in a little bit. We're just checking times and stuff. So I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, God, this is Angel. She's about to rip this movie to shreds. And just sitting there thinking about the fact that Angel just put up a rant and review, I'm like, dude, I'm turning this trash off. So I put on Reloaded and went straight to the highway scene, like the big fight. I'm like, dude, this is
twins.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. The twins. Niobe shows up, and then Neo flies in and yanks them off the semi-trailers as they're exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that scene. Freaky Louie, what is up? Let's redo this, people. Noggins Comics, what is going on? Happy New Year, member of the Legion. Hey, yo, I'm here for the 2022 spoilers. Well, there is one to be had, but I'm not telling it. Nick, you're actually privy to the 2022 spoiler that I have, actually. But member of the Legion. Let's see. Let's see if I missed anybody here. Scrolling. Yeah, it is pretty good stuff. Only been 2 days, but so far, best year ever, you know?
It's been a great improvement on the other.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we got Tyler up in here. What is going on? Tuning in from work. Member of the Legion. Flash 6792. What is going on? Happy New Year to you. You're going to appreciate some of the books that are shown off tonight for sure. And also, thank you for being a member of the Legion. I'm going to be doing the drawing probably at around 10 o'clock-ish, give or take. Pops Attic. What is going on, Pops? Member of the Legion. What is going on, Bart, my brother from Belgium? How are you doing today? Or tomorrow in your case. How are you doing tomorrow? There is definitely a time difference. All right, so that's pretty much
going there.
A lot of chat here. So definitely appreciate everybody popping in. I got a crying baby, so let's start off with y'all two. What? All right, read of the year. What was y'all's favorite read? Doesn't have to be one. What are some of your top picks for your read of the year?
Go ahead, Joseph.
So my first one, I had to go with Steel, just the DC Steel run.
Okay.
It's even getting to the point where I'm buying covers for it, and I was able.
Dark Knights of Steel one.
Yeah. I was able to pick one up at C2E2 with the Joker.
It's very fresh, fresh.
Super great read. I'm super glad I get to carry it into this year. I've liked the Dr. Blake run of Thor. I thought that was very intense, and I very much enjoyed that. That got meta in ways that I really, really enjoyed. And then let's see some other good reads I had this week that really, of course, Delta Dogs. Everybody knows I'm a huge Delta Dogs fan. They've really stepped up that game in 2021, and now we got more action, great dialogue. It's really come together as a great read. So I enjoy that as well as my independent read for the week. So there you go, Marvel, DC, and independent for me.
I see what you did there. That was smooth. I think I'm going to have to craft that same format for my answer. But what do you got, Chris?
My first one comes with a little bit of an asterisk, only because I discovered this book in 2021, thanks to Mark and thanks to Ryan. And Mark can probably know where I'm going with it. The best read,
on my list.
The best read for me, hands down, 2021, was the Miranda Brothers' We Live. For those of you in the chat that haven't read We Live, it's cliche to say you are missing out, but truly you are missing out in an incredible saga type of story that it was only a short limited series, although the world is about to expand via the Miranda Brothers. It was just one of those books where it's just like, come on. And then this climactic ending where it just kind of ends with the most beautiful thing you can imagine, and it literally just stops there with one of the most heartfelt expressions being said between siblings, and it got to me. And for those of you that have children, it'll probably get to you too. Another read for me that was brought to me from Tyler from Whack Comics. He exposed me to Stray Dogs, and I got to that game basically right as the limited series was ending, and it clicked on many different cylinders for me. Again, it's an Image title, and at first I thought, I'm not the type of guy that buys into camp. I'm not into silliness, and there's nothing silly about Stray Dogs in any way, shape, or form. It's just presented in an incredibly original way, via something that you would see out of Disney or DreamWorks when it comes to their animation. And it was just a very good in-depth read all the way through. The story, the ending came to a very, very short, abrupt end, but when the body that precedes it is just so dynamic, you can basically be thankful for everything that happens there. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say either a Chip Zdarsky story or a Spider-Man story, so I'm going to combine the two of them. And Marvel's what if when it comes to basically the reimagining of the symbiote saga, when Peter tried to take off the black suit in why is that title just blanking out on me? You're gonna have to forgive me.
Spider's Web or something
like that.
Spider's Sense. Either way, Spider's Shadow. Thank you.
Here it is, Spider's Shadow. Thank you.
Spider's Shadow. Now the artwork was not top notch. However, the storytelling and the reimagining of what could have happened in Spider-Man 298, 299, 300 was very, very, I thought very, very good. And the fact that it was Chip Zdarsky, someone who right now seems to have a grasp on how storytelling for Peter Parker could be done. It's almost a shame that he doesn't have control of the ASM title. I really enjoyed Spider's Shadow. It was a breath of fresh air considering what was happening to the franchise character in his own title under the writing of the man whose name I don't like to say. But it's a point where it's kind of sad that
Still scarred.
But it's pretty sad that my favorite Spider-Man title of 2021 was a what if. But what a what if. The fact that they tied in numerous characters into that Spider-Man saga was very, very cool to read. Like I said, the artwork wasn't necessarily top-notch, but a lot of things in 2021 weren't necessarily top-notch. So those were my three favorite reads, but I can't stress this enough to everyone that's enjoying the show tonight. We Live by Light Years was my number one read.
Dude, Monkey was just over there getting her jams on, and she told my wife she wants to come sit with Daddy, talk to his friends. And as soon as she hit my lap, she goes, "All done, no friends." Which in her talk, she's like, "All done with the friends." She's a trip, man. She's at that age where everything she says is funny. All right, so let's see. Top three for me. This is actually a really easy list if we're going to hit the three different categories for Marvel. Both of y'all can guess what it is. It's not a mystery. Immortal Hulk ended in epic fashion. That's how you finish off a run. That's how you keep the run together and tight. And like the middle of the run was thinking about the beginning and the end when they were writing it. The end called back to the middle and the beginning, and they added so much to the mythos of the Hulk himself. And there was closure with stuff that's been long-standing for a long time, where, I mean, it's closure for now. It can be open-ended again later, but they did some beautiful things with it and just added so much more weight to that character on not just a internal scale for him, but a cosmic scale inside of the 616 universe. Beautiful. Al Ewing crushed that. Joe Bennett's art was perfect for this new direction they took, where we have this new horrific style, this darker tone that was very John Carpenter-y, the way that they presented it, like the horror of morphing into the Hulk and stuff. where it was completely fresh, but it was still playing true to the essence of the character. Loved it.
And
For
no filler
DC,
issues either. No filler issues in that 50 run. They all tie together.
some of them were kind of like slower pace, but it all is connected. There's nothing that was throwaway. It was either adding to that mythos, like with those one shots they were doing, and but man, it was good. For DC, for me, another easy one, hands down, it has to be Action Comics from the time that Philip Kennedy Johnson stepped in. Because as a Superman fan, I'm on cloud 9 these days. Like the actual Superman is back with new content, new stories. You don't know what to expect, but you know that you're getting Superman. You're not getting this watered down rehashing reversion of him. You're getting this is like if Christopher Reeve's Superman was like thought of when they were writing new content for him way down the road. Like he has all the morality, he has all like the goals that he has set for the planet, for his family, for his friends, like it's just proper Superman with, again, it's fresh. It's completely fresh. It's good. It's freaking good. And this whole angle with Jonathan, that's awesome. Like I'm loving this Jonathan having to step into the bigger boots now, and that dynamic between Superman and his son. Again, a lot of this has got, like Chris said, if you're a parent, some things are just going to hit you differently than if you're not. So I wouldn't expect everyone to sit there and get choked up reading those early issues of Action when Clark's just watching his son flying through space and just having that moment of letting go a little bit, like taking his hands off the reins because he's starting to trust his child as an older kid to the point where he sees him as an adult now. It's beautiful. And then hands down, read of the year, it was split between 2021 and the beginning of this year. Independent took it for the win with We Live. The Miranda brothers absolutely did something one of a kind with that story. I had never seen an origin story told like that or such a heartfelt story. And Chris said it all. And also the mixed media they did with it. I'm not too familiar with other books that put like QR codes in the books where they're what it is one of the Miranda brothers, Rory, he lives in Spain and he works in the music business, like the professional music business over there. So he had contacts where he was able to reach out and have professional bands that he knows, and then they worked up the music for it so that it worked perfectly with the book. So they were very personally tied to those music tracks as well. But it was phenomenal. Cannot wait for that next art.
Nice.
Let's see. Sticking with the loose format thing, I have no clue what's next. What was
Three disappointments.
Favorite superhero movie of the year?
Yeah, go for it.
And/or show. Mine would have to have been, of course, Spider-Man. That one hit for me probably the most. My favorite show would have been What If. So, I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed the whole. I always like it when they do the negative of a hero and what that looks like, and how Doctor Strange not being really good or bad, right? His dark side is neither really good nor bad either.
Just selfish.
Like a more depressed version. So I really enjoyed that. I thought that went a lot deeper. And then, of course, I mean, Batman. If Batman wasn't on there, I would probably just talk trash about it. Well, maybe Suicide Squad, because I just enjoyed that for its goofy campiness. But yeah, Spider-Man, that was definitely a home run, hit on everything. Like even a few minutes, my wife's like, "What's that coming out of your face?" And I was like, "None of your damn business, you old bird."
What is a salty discharge?
That's right. So yeah, that's definitely my pick.
My pick for best film or comic book film of the year is also Spider-Man: No Way Home. Just to see one of my biggest gripes is that Andrew Garfield was never given his third opportunity for the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy done by Mark Webb. Now, I think almost everyone would agree that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not necessarily that good of a film. The whole changing of the look of Electro and Dane DeHaan as the Green Goblin was not necessarily the best move. But the final scene where Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man goes after Gwen, to me, is the quintessential Spider-Man scene of all time. He thought he had her.
I still cry.
Just that sense of pride when he lands and just rips the mask off and just kind of looks at her positively, and we all know what's actually happened. And that's, to me, that performance that Andrew Garfield gave right there was one of the best Spider-Man performances, to match basically Tobey Maguire's scene where him and Dr. Octopus had their final battle in Spider-Man 2. So to see Andrew Garfield get his opportunity to at least, whether it was 20 minutes or 25 minutes on the screen, just to put the suit back on, and the fact that John Watts gave the character the chance to make the save,
a redemption,
was fantastic to see. That move, besides Andrew Garfield's being in that, and that moment when Ned opens the portal, and you see someone there, and I remember, like, just that half a second, come on, and grabbing the hand beside me and like, come on. And then he walked in, and it was just like, all right, the rumors are true. And but the looking back, the thing that to me makes this film my personal favorite is just how dark and sad this movie really is. Nothing goes right for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. And that's the Peter Parker that I grew up with. My biggest complaint for the first two Tom Holland films was, why are they having him chase a father figure? Why are they having him chase a father figure that I'm not used to him chasing? And then this particular one was, he's doing everything he can for friends and family first, and nothing's going right. And in the end, he knows what the ultimate sacrifice is to do, and he pulled the trigger. And that's the most Peter Parker thing that this movie could have done. And it just wrapped it up. It could be arguably one of the best comic book movies of all time. And then again, we had another greatest comic book movie of all time get released this year as well, and talk about redemption. And that's a story outside of the film of itself for redemption. So I know Mark's going to go down that road, but my favorite show, they were all good. So I'm just going to have to spotlight just that one scene. And the scene that I look at is probably the best scene in comic book television this year was when Wanda let out the hurt in the final episode of WandaVision, when she's in that area where her home should have been, and she just lets everything out. That was
grief if not love enduring. Like,
and
God.
What a performance from her. Like, whether you enjoyed the show or not, I think everyone can agree that was just one of those moments where when you think of the Scarlet Witch moving forward, you may be drawn back to that moment when she just lets it all out. I think we've all been to that point where you suffer loss and you just want to have that big scream. And she, again, it was just incredible to watch and very heartfelt. Mark?
So I'm going to start my show. I think my favorite show, I don't like, dude, like Joe will guess this one. The show that I just had an absolute blast watching from episode 1 to episode 13. After every single episode, I bombarded this man's phone. Like, have you watched it yet? Because again, it really just takes place like directly in the heart of my fandom. My personal fandom is for these old DC characters, and Stargirl is just doing them proper justice. Like, no pun intended. Actually, pun definitely intended. You know what I'm saying? Like, Stargirl is phenomenal. They're rolling out the JSA. They're reaching deep into DC Comics past. Like, dude, it is just so fun. Yeah, it is so fun. They're handling them well. They decided to do it with the whole Justice League Inc. or Justice Society Inc. characters, so it's a younger generation. So like you can play into that, but they're unpolished. So they're having to reference and go back to and call back to regularly the actual Justice Society. So you're getting a good balance in there and all that good stuff. And it's just, they're playing with big characters like Eclipso, and we got Dr. Bones coming. Like, it's about to get crazy. We had Solomon Grundy running around smashing. Like, it was just fun. It was just fun.
And honestly, that was going to be my pick. But then I was really kind of weighing it out. And I was like, just for, I don't sit down and binge watch Stargirl, nor do I think I would. I did enjoy it. It's something I'll watch late. It's my guilty pleasure at night to watch something silly.
Mhm.
But yeah, when it came down to, like making me think about a show, that's the only reason why I went with What If.
Yeah. And overall, I'll be honest with you, and Chris knows this. I just didn't care for What If. Like every episode, like I don't know. I don't know what it is with a lot of MCU stuff just aggravates me these days for some reason. I don't think it's what they're making. I think they're making good quality stuff. I don't know what it is, but I was talking to Bart, my friend over in Belgium. He's like, dude, you got to lighten up and have some fun with this stuff. I'm like, and a light bulb went off. I'm like, yeah, I do. I don't know what it is. But
I used to do the same thing with, we did the best. I'll go ahead and hit the worst real quick. Flash, Legends, and Supergirl. This last year of them, when I actually just stopped watching them at this point. I was just like, the dialogue doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure why their motives are the way that they are. They act more like villains than what you would project to be a hero. It's everything that Stargirl's not.
Mm-hmm.
it just bored me.
Yeah. So JSA is Stargirl, upcoming Black Adam. ... So we do know that we're getting Atom Smasher, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, Hawkman, all of which are JSAers, but it's definitely not going to be tied in. But we are getting a lot of JSA content. We are also teased by Jeff Johns in the Stargirl Summer Special one-shot that the JSA is returning. They've been slowly teasing them since Doomsday Clock. And I'm just sitting here, just waiting. I feel like that skeleton meme, like me waiting for you, and it's just a person sitting. It's a skeleton sitting in a chair for waiting so long.
Yeah.
So I got to give a special shout out because I know I spoke about the one scene just because I felt that one just blew me away. But I have to give Invincible a quick shout out. I see that that Remy dropped it in there, and I remember just like. Friday couldn't come fast enough, and then that subway scene, and just like, oh my sweet Jesus, my dad was actually good to me. Looking back, but yeah, that was Invincible was incredible.
Too,
yeah. Mark, what was your what did I touch on it? Your bet, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you already know what time it is. Yeah. So it's still just been sitting behind me on display. Like I've got all three of the standard covers slabbed in a 9.8. I've got all three of the black and whites. I went all in on that. I've got my McFarlane exclusives up there. I've got the whole set. I've even got a variant down here of one of the characters I haven't even unboxed yet. But the Snyder Cut was hands down for me the biggest, best, baddest ass movie of the year. Nothing even came close to it. And I give Spider-Man No Way Home a near perfect score for its amazing fan service done right. And that was a phenomenal movie. I laughed, cried, and cheered all the way through it. And I did the same thing for the Snyder Cut. But I feel the Snyder Cut, like you said, just has so much importance on so many levels.
Yeah.
The only other time we've seen that happen was with the Donner Cut, when they allowed to go back and let the original creator finish their project. And I think there's situations surrounding all this we don't have to unpack, but the fact that it became what it did. You hear people complain about the length of it and this and that, but that's part of the beauty of it. The fact that we're able to return to it. And this director was, you want to get up here and wave? She was down here waving at y'all. But the fact that the director came back to it and was able to give it everything he had and give the fans every possible thing he could in one go, this is what we had coming. This is what's left, and you get it all. You get every bit of it. It was amazing. Yeah, I know Doom Patrol is up there high on my list as well.
I did enjoy Doom Patrol. There was a lot of good stuff that came out. Yeah.
Another guilty pleasure. Dude, it was a stellar year. We had Doom Patrol, Titans, all the Marvel shows. I'm pretty sure all of them came out this year, didn't they? None of them started last year, did they?
I'm not sure if Scarlet Witch started or WandaVision, started at Christmas and then just carried into the new year. But I do know WandaVision was it ended in 2021.
Season 2 of The Mandalorian was fantastic. That was this year.
But my biggest letdown, because I know Joe touched on his, but my biggest letdown was Black Widow. I would love to say Wonder Woman 84,
December 10th.
but as someone who enjoys DC, Wonder Woman 84 came out Christmas Day 2020.
Was it Christmas Day?
Yeah, it was Christmas Day. So I can't go down that road. But it was, with that being said, then it was Black Widow. What they did to Taskmaster
was garbage.
Was a crying shame. And I don't care if you're an Avengers fan or a Spider-Man fan. If you read Marvel Comics, at some point you've come across a Taskmaster and you know what kind of character the Taskmaster is. And the fact that Taskmaster was billed to be in this movie, it was just like, oh yes, like this is a character that can cross over a bunch of MCU movies. And
no,
they dropped the ball. I like what they did with the Red Guardian in that movie, but then again, they camped that out just too much. They went a little too far with the campiness of Red Guardian.
It hit that point where, like, everybody on the screen, if they were a dude, they're either stupid or the bad guy. Like, they just went overboard with it.
But I wish I could say, other than some fight scenes, that this movie is worth your time. But it's a one and done movie for me. Yeah. And that's a shame, because most of the Marvel stuff, even the Dark World for me, is something I can watch a couple times, just because Mjolnir was so good in that movie. But anyways, so yeah, my biggest letdown was Black Widow, and not because of it was push back. It just wasn't a good product.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Taskmaster has been treated like a joke for years in the comics. I think Jed McKay is the most recent writer for Taskmaster. They have that mini-series that came out this year.
Yeah.
Trying to get him out there and a little more present. I think that'd be Taskmaster. It wouldn't even be a competition.
No.
January 15th is when WandaVision came out, so awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Travis.
All right. So for looking ahead a little bit, what are you most excited about movie-wise? Out of the ones that we know are coming for this year, for 2022?
I don't know if I'm actually looking towards like a movie. I am a little excited about Morbius, because the whole point of a vampire is really addiction. So I really want to see how Marvel breaks that down in a visual format. I think that would be interesting. But at some point, I keep hearing rumors, little whispers in the community, that we're going to get a Kraven. And Kraven's one of those heroes that I rank very, very highly, and I'm ready for that.
So there's a few good things coming out.
Yeah.
You see Morbius and Uncharted, Batman, Sonic 2.
Mission Impossible 7.
Yeah.
MI7, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Wanda Forever, Aquaman, Secret Invasion.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Thor. So, if I had to just pick one of these bad boys, I am probably going to have to go Thor: Love and Thunder, because I don't think Chris Hemsworth is getting out of this movie. I think the God Butcher is going to show up, and it's going to be bad news. And I think that possibly Jane could become Lady Thor. We'll see. We're talking about an actor who always talks about his contract.
Dude, this is one of those Spider-Man moments where, like, everyone was like, "Don't spoil the movie," but it was like known fact that all three of them were in it for over a year.
Everybody knew that already.
Like, there was memes, there was like mock-ups and everything of all three of them for over a year. And then when it comes to the week of the movie coming out, like, nobody better talk about what we already know. Like, we know she's becoming Thor in this. Like I'm kind of excited for it. It's just, I hope that they treat it well, and it's just not one of those like just, I don't even know what they call it, when there's like it's a crime to be a man these days, so everything has to be moved over to a female. Like how we just got, like, they're kind of leading into Kate Bishop now. We got Lady Thor coming. We got She-Hulk coming. Like, just Black Panther's about to be a female. Like
I said, I think there's a place for it. I think it does work. I don't see anything wrong with a male and female superhero up there.
Black Panther is a title, so it can, that can change over and over again, right? Like, let's be honest, Black Panther is just a title.
I think where the problem comes in is that the person is so elevated, right? And in most cases, it's the female character is so elevated for no reason It just throws off the viewership of it. Like, it's like, why? Where as generally a hero's arc for a male's character has to go through a bunch of crap.
This is going to be hilarious. I'm stoked
Yeah.
for this.
Mm-hmm.
That they have such a great dynamic. I forget what the name of the movie was, where The Rock was like the CIA guy, went to high school with Kevin Hart, came back to the
With the jorts.
Yeah, he's wearing Jordan like a unicorn shirt. He's like, dude, is that a unicorn? He's like, yeah, I'm big into the corn. And he's rocking a
Central
fan jacket.
Intelligence?
Yes. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
And in all sincerity, Mission Impossible 7 coming out has got me really excited. Like, that franchise, those are all really good movies. They are very good movies. And that last one that they did with Henry Cavill, that was probably the best one yet. Fallout.
That was a good one. He's all.
Like, I was expecting it to kind of like get like corny or campy eventually, but that they like peaked at that one. I'm like, dude, how do you peak at 6? Like, someone explain that to the Fast and Furious franchise. You don't have to get bad. You can still make good movies. What's going on, Soul Twice? How are you doing tonight? Dark Avengers build up, maybe? We know that, like, I feel like they're leaning a lot more toward the Thunderbolts before we see the Dark Avengers. At least that's what
Or Young Avengers. Yeah.
I'm going more, Thunderbolts.
I could almost, if they go that route with how long it might take to roll out. For one, I'd expect to see it as one of their TV show properties more than on the silver screen. And I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Young Avengers team go against them, because that seems like more, depending on who you put on the Dark Avengers, having like the Patriot character go up against U.S. Agent kind of thing, like that seems more like, we know Contessa's up to her shenanigans, so they got to be building some kind of Thunderbolts.
If you're doing Thunderbolts, you gotta have that Canadian on the team. So at some point, Deadpool's got to show up.
We need Sasquatch. Feige, we trust, have very high hopes for the MCU. As long as Kevin Feige is in charge, 95% of the MCU will be good. That's a solid number. That's definitely winning odds. Panther's been filming in Atlanta for months. Yeah, on and off again. They had the main actress, the one that's on the chopping block, who plays Shuri. She got injured on the set, and they had to take a pause. They filmed everything they could without her, and then between the time of her pausing and coming back, she said all kinds of stuff that they did not approve of in her personal life, and they're like, you might not be allowed to come back to work, and that's where it stands right now.
Who?
The actress who plays Shuri was in her personal life and reportedly on set, telling people and suggesting to people her thoughts on current situations.
About the poke. Yeah, it was about the poke, right? Yeah.
It was about the poke, the old pokey.
Yeah.
Good enough for Kevin Smith.
Effie has mentioned the return of Maverick.
And
I'm pumped for Top Gun 2 as well.
I don't know. I
wish
they would have just left that alone. Like, I know everything's getting remade, and now and we watched this when we watched Cobra Kai. Me and my wife started laughing because I don't know why, and I this may be one of the things, but there's just something about old men doing karate that makes me laugh.
Yeah,
because they all do the same thing. They're all like all of a sudden like doing this, and then like some weird kick happens, and you're like, right? So, and then and same thing in the Matrix. The fight scenes were really slow and kind of just uncoordinated, and I'm like, please don't do that in Top Gun. Don't make it like, oh, afterburner on. just leave it alone.
Kingpin let Kate Bishop win. He was in his leisure suit that day. He wasn't really ready to fight.
Yeah, my fashion award of 2021 goes to the Kingpin.
At any moment, I was expecting Kingpin to pull out a can of Barbasol and open it up and have like the DNA for the dinosaurs in it. Like
that shirt, yes.
Actually, he just came back from the wonderful island of Jamaica. He was there for a week, and his plane just landed. So, yeah.
And I know they were doing the homage to that cover that you pointed out. They did a good job doing that. Like, but I feel like they kind of shoehorned that in there. Like, it didn't really feel like it was the time for it, but it was a cool nod all the same.
That's fair.
Last Dragon was the best karate movie. Like the Snyder Cut, FFs are good for what they are. What is going on, Austin LeMay? We got Austin up in the chat. Glad you can make it.
Yeah, Heffy is absolutely correct. Kingpin will always be Private Pile.
It's great.
Yes, this is my rifle and this is my gun. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just take a second because I know we talked about it beforehand. What are some of the biggest things of 2021 for us personally, like collecting wise? What were some of your highlights, things you picked up, things you got to do? I know like you two guys were able to actually meet up with the gang. It was in Chicago, right?
Yeah, you want to start with that there?
Yeah, why don't y'all go ahead and get that out of the way so I can just get past this FOMO.
Just get past it all.
Yeah, God.
Go ahead, Comic Man. You go ahead and start. You had the longest trip. You probably got more of a story than I do. I just got drunk.
Regular day for Joe.
It was really cool. It was a very last minute thing. Plans came together at the last minute, and I decided to make the trek. And it was a very cool experience. You get to meet these people that you've never seen before in your life that come across, that not just me, but all over, the continent. It wasn't just me that made the big trek from southwestern Ontario to Illinois, but people came from all over. And the beautiful thing about it was, I thought there was going to be a lot of handshakes, and there wasn't. It was a lot of hugs. It was just, it was cool to witness. It was cool to be a part of, where I didn't have to introduce myself because a lot of people knew my name, and it was just a real cool experience. It was short, and it was, life hit right back to life just a couple days later. But it's just one of those moments that's gonna stay with me for a long time. Just meeting these people that were, extraordinarily kind, and in the end, it's like Jimmy said, it's like we're family. This is just like a family reunion, and yeah, it was really, really something to be a part of. Really, it was something very, very cool to be a part of.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed myself. Like I said, it wasn't the first time I've been to C2E2, but this one was definitely, or any Comic-Con for that matter, but this one did seem a lot different to me. You all year long, you hang out with these guys in different chat rooms, different chats, you trade comic books. Sometimes some guy needs some help with something or whatever, just watching their regular content. And I thought it was really smart of Rob to kind of organize and kind of keep focus, by having the room to ourselves where we could actually chit chat, and then other YouTubers coming in there as well. I thought that was really good. It surprised me because when you look at like here on the screen on the magic of YouTube, and then you meet some of these cats in person, you're like, they just look different. You get the perception of stature or whatever. Like, you're just freakishly tall. He's cruising around looking like Lurch. It's like, where's Comic Vet? Look above the heads and you see his forehead. Right there. It was good. And then, it's always cool to exchange gifts and stuff like that. And that was really nice. I thought that was really well done. But yeah, just hanging out with people. And then, of course, I don't like hanging out in a group when I'm comic book hunting, but it was really cool to say, hey, look what I picked up real quick on the floor, and things like that, because there's enough of us where you're going to run into one of us, right? That was really cool. And then having a little fun, like sticking NFC chips everywhere and just kind of giggling about it. Stupid little jokes.
Dude, that was hilarious. We're hanging out with Rob and talked about it. And days later, after y'all been on, he picked up his bag and, God dang it, Joe.
Having a little mischief, a little fun, little drink, little food, some conversation. Good time. It was a really good time. I'd do it again.
Well, I look forward to the opportunity to get to do the same thing.
Yeah. I hope when we do this again, I can I hope that the group is even larger this time. I hope that it's 25, 30 people, and it's just the the outpouring of kindness is still there, and and I hope, Mark, that you're there. I hope Ryan, who's a regular on the show, that you guys can make it too, and I look forward to not shaking your hands but giving you a hug.
You know what? I'll be honest. Like full disclosure, that kind of I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Because I always shake hands. I'm not a hugger. Go figure, right? I'm like, "How you doing?" And they're like, "No, you gotta hug me." And he's like, "Oh, okay, we're doing." And I'm like, I'll never forget it. It was DJ Lynx's wife. She's giving me a hug, and like I'm like tapping her with my fingertip.
Oh,
I'm like, "Hi, how you doing?"
the shimmy. Yeah.
I have nothing to add to this part of the show because as y'all
well, I will say, and I've said this before, that the number one comment that would happen whenever we met as a large group, right, was, "Hey, wish Legion of Comics was here. Like Mark needs to be here." That was you were very well missed.
There was one night, like I'm laying in bed, like depressed from not getting to be with you guys, and DJ Link sends me a picture. He's like, "Man, Nick is hurting right now." He sent me a picture of Nick. Didn't know he took the picture. Nick's like this. And so DJ sends me the message, and by the time I read it, I get the notification where Nick messaged me, "Man, I wish you were here, bro. It just ain't the same without you." So DJ literally took a picture of Nick messaging me without Nick knowing he was messaging me. I'm like, Jesus, man. I'm like, how am I supposed to sleep now? It looked like a good time. Oh, we're going to make it work out eventually, though. I just live so much farther tucked in the little corner here of America. Like it's down here in a corner, like Chicago's like way, that way.
That's why when people started mentioning it, I tried to say, "Hey, if we want Mark to come, maybe we need to do Orlando. So we'll see what happens."
Yeah.
Orlando is a hub city, and everyone can fly there for cheap.
That would be fun. Florida's nice. I like Florida.
I would probably just drive, for me, like spend 6 to 8 hours, depending on how we take it, just drive, stop at
MegaCon is a big con. Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple of people had mentioned possibly wanting to hit Heroes Convention, North Carolina, and I've been planning on doing that, like my dad and his wife and me and the family going, and like they can come in and hang out, then just leave me and dad to our devices, and COVID shot that in the foot in 2020 and 2021. So we're like, it really just depends on what goes on as well with like everyone in the community. Like, I don't think I could pull off so many things. Like I got that Journey concert now this year that I'm going to, which I'm getting excited about. I've got my vacation, which is like 10 days where I just check out from reality, which I'm stoked about. And then I'm trying to hit like 2 cons. I think I can pull it off.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to a very quiet life for later on this year. Just shut it down, quiet, and when it's time to do something like this again, just put it in the first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth gear to make it work.
Yeah. This is as like today was really like a huge benchmark for me. Like not just capped off previous year, but it ended the holiday run for me at work. So January and February are record low months for travel. You just don't get a lot of it. You have Valentine's Day weekend is a little pop, but other than that, it's Chillbilly City at my job. So I'm excited about recharging the batteries and trying to make some plans and see. I don't normally make plans, but see what I can pull off. But yeah, Austin said he can't wait to meet up with the gang again. And speaking of Austin, let's get into some of like collecting wise. What are some of the highlights collecting wise? Because I'm just getting sad right now talking about C2E2.
So big grails for me this year was, of course, that Transformers #1, which I've already put away. A couple of more books. Finally got under. I think I got 6, 7, and 8 of Ranger Comics. So I'm getting closer to that #1 issue. It's out there someplace. Some other things I picked up, of course, Austin LeVay's cover.
We'll talk more on that. You didn't just pick up that cover.
Yeah. I like the framing of that sentence.
Joe's ridiculously modest, but he helped make that cover a reality.
I just I paid the bills. That's all I did. Some things I didn't think I would end up with because my comic book store ran out of them. I was able to pick up the banana cover of Wolverine.
Nice.
Really just something silly to buy, right? And that was
Awesome.
They got like 9 backers in this thing. That's ridiculous.
I bet you can fit 2 more in that clown car.
Right. Since I knew I was going to be on a debate where I was going to debate for Dark Side, I picked up first appearances and all that. Most of those I actually put away, but some other key issues for.
First appearance of Morgan Edge and Jack Kirby's first work with DC.
Yeah, super good stuff there. Super happy to get those.
What issue of Mr. Miracle was that?
Oh, yeah. Cool covers that I picked up this year that I never thought, I'm not a Hulk collector, but you can't beat that.
That's a great one.
That was another C2E2 pickup. Interesting thing, of course, first appearance of the Star Band, or not Star Bands, Quasar. Yeah, Quasar Bands or Quasars or whatever.
Quasar with the quantum bands.
Yeah, and just stupid things that I picked up that I probably shouldn't have because I don't know why I have it, right? First, Brewster Gold.
And first Blackguard, who made his silver screen debut this year in the Suicide Squad, played by Pete Davidson.
Other new interesting comic books that I've decided to start collecting. Boy Commandos. It's another Golden Age run. I fell in love with those after I picked up a couple of those at Baltimore Comic-Con. And She-Hulk, number 1 and number 2, volume 1. Picked those up. So a lot of books out there that I was able to get this year, mostly at the cons because I don't do a whole lot of buying online when it comes to comic books. I want to hold it before I purchase it.
Yeah. What are some of the highlights of your collecting from 2021?
I got to go to my mailbox. So after 21,
what an event!
After 21 long months of not being able to enter the United States, there was a very short window of time where I was able to enter the United States for 72 hours or less without having any kind of testing done because I'm fully vaxxed. That's now gone, by the way, for those of you that are not aware of this situation. But some of my highlights was I picked up the book to finish my Spider-Man run 1 to 10. This is Spider-Man issue number 2.
Wow.
And
wait, tell the story. Isn't that the one you just got, right? Like, that's a great short story right there, how you acquired that.
So I won through Torpedo Comics a copy of The Incredible Hulk 180. The first cameo, whatever you want to call it, the first cameo appearance of Wolverine in an 8.5. That was actually the Mark Jeweller's insert variant. I tried to trade that particular copy for Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1, the first appearance of the Sinister Six, in a 5.5 at the David Adams booth at C2E2. And at the very last moment, the guy who I was trying to negotiate the deal with backed out. So I literally walked across the way about 8 feet. That was the distance, Joe, between booths, right?
Mm-hmm.
From one booth to another, it was about 8 feet. Yep. And less than 10 minutes later, I had worked out a deal straight up for that Hulk 180 in an 8.5 blue label, Mark Jeweller's insert, for the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2, creamed off-white 2.5. Finishing my run of the Amazing Spider-Man 1 to 10. So yeah. Also at that con, I picked up a book that I said was my favorite story that I read this year. And I picked up a copy of We Live number 1 in the 9.8, the original A cover. Nothing wrong with the original stuff, folks, right?
No, that's the one.
Yeah. I picked this up. I got a deal they wanted, I believe, $125 for it, and I just offered them a $100 bill, and they took it and said, "Here you go." And I walked away thinking about Mark. One of my big scores was I found a garage sale just by randomly driving around on a Saturday, and see.
He was already ahead of you.
So Paul knows where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a copy of the Amazing Spider-Man 100 for way less than just $35, what's priced on here, because I ended up buying it in a lot. And
Was that extremely organized yard sale you found?
It was a guy who used to work at a comic book store. A couple covers that I picked up that I'm just in love with was Wonder Woman Black and Gold issue #1.
Those are actually spiking a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I believe this is Lau that did this cover,
Mhm.
and it's just incredible. And my girlfriend hooked me up with a mystery box, and in it was this particular cover.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
The Natalie Sanders Gotham Society.
You like your lady.
Yeah. And there was a couple other big good books that I got from my mailbox. One was a 9.8, Something is Killing the Children, Jenny Frizen cover variant.
Boom.
Dude,
that book ran up in value from the time you bought it to you could get your hands on your mailbox.
Yeah, I spent less than $100 for it originally. I picked up this just stunning take of Kal-El by Jock for Action Comics #1. And
that's the one you said you're going to give me, right?
This is the one that I'm going to think of you whenever I look at it.
Okay, same thing.
It's the Forbidden Planet Virgin Edition. Jock's take on the Man of Steel for Action 1000. And I also picked up the Amazing Spider-Man issue #3 in a raw copy. I don't have that close by right now, but I did also pick up the first Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel in the Avenging Spider-Man issue #9. This is something that I spec'd out on at the right time. But yeah, there's other cool books that I picked up that were at my mailbox that I would really wanted. Either I picked them up for spec value or just because I thought they were incredible pieces of art. And this was a real good year. And I would be remiss if I didn't show this particular book. This is a book that Nick from Nick's Kicks and Comics hooked me up with when I basically said that I was in love with this cover done by David Nakayama. And this is King in Black, Gwenom vs. Carnage issue #2. The cover featuring MJ. And Nick gave me an incredible deal.
You're just lucky he didn't trace his hand on it.
And yeah. And this is one of those covers for me that's up there with Batgirl 23 done by Joshua Middleton.
Yeah,
and,
you put me on to Middleton this past year. I watched for his stuff.
And thank you, Nick. It's greatly appreciated. And that's just some of the highlights of my 2021, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely it was a great year for me in comic books. Like, it was ridiculously great. So I know not everybody is into it, but and this was a recent one. I just posted a video about it, but this Clayton Crane cover capped off my collection of Clayton Crane Power Ranger books. Big Power Ranger fan, and have all of the Clayton Crane variants he did in signed 9.8s with the yellow label. And this was the last one. It just never goes up for sale. And again, big shout out and thank you to my brother over in Belgium, Bart, because he is the biggest Power Ranger fan on this earth, hands down. And he's always in these closed groups and these forums and these chats. And he saved me and even picked up books because he couldn't even get a hold of me at work. He would just buy them and be like, dude, I got this today. You said you needed it, right? I'm like, holy crap. Because he doesn't pay overvalue for them. Like, he gets stuff for great deals. And he found this and sent it to me immediately. I'm like, oh, I'm on it. And I even got the guy to knock off some dollars on it. So that closed off a chapter to that. This year I was able to actually meet Jason David Frank in person here locally in Augusta at a shop called Top Dog Comics. They had a signing event. So me and the whole crew went up there, and I got my favorite Ranger, the Green Ranger, that issue 0, 1 and 50 Montez cover signed and slabbed up. And then I got what is absolutely my favorite Power Ranger cover ever done, that Fanboy Film Festival.
Nice.
signed and slabbed up. I got another one done, but those are just the two I grabbed. I capped off my DC Kirby stuff. I didn't have that first Dark Side. I know it's not his first full appearance, but I already had that.
Yeah.
But that's the first cameo of Dark Side. I got that in a CBCS 7.0, which is y'all know me, I love my Dark Side. Let's see, I also picked up a copy of She-Hulk 1 this year and sent it in and got it graded. That was another thing I did. I started sending a lot more stuff in to get graded. And that came back at 9.2. I paid $70 for that. Y'all know I shop some deals now.
Frugal Mark.
Yeah, but Frugal Mark's got a big stack of comics.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that first Justice League Dark, which I won from panel surfing on Instagram. But more importantly, when I entered his little thing, is because of this book, which I've been looking for a while. Because I love me some Ghost Rider, love the horror characters, and the old Legion of Monsters thing is. I mean, it's cool that it's got like the whole Legion thing in it, but it was mainly just for the monsters. You know, it's freaking awesome. And this book ended up spiking this year out of nowhere.
Yes, it did.
It went from like a $40 book in a fine grade to being like $150, $180 book. I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. And I didn't. I did not pay that. Other notable pickups, I got that first cover appearance of the Crime Syndicate. I absolutely love the Crime Syndicate. They're such awesome villains. And I got their first appearance.
That's a nice book, too. Yeah, I like that book.
These are going to Justin over at Justin's Comics sooner than later because I need these slabs. I have a feeling Todd McFarlane will fix the problem of not having so many villains in his toy line. You know, we had a ton of Batmans, so he's going to have to start branching out here soon. And the Crime Syndicate would be an epic little set to do, especially with their little influx in popularity in comics right now. I did pick up another New Mutants 87, but more importantly, at the same time I got this, I picked up my New Mutants 98, which is at Justin's. No, it's at CGC now. I just sent it off to Justin in CGC, so that's currently getting graded, along with my Tomb of Dracula number 10, the first appearance of Blade I picked up this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting graded. And also my Killing Joke first print is getting graded right now. So I got a lot at CGC, but I did pick this up at the same time as that Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Great Neil Adams.
And then I picked up that one.
Right.
Picked up that first appearance of Venom.
Yeah. That's a great chance story. I don't know what you're talking about Venom, but yeah.
Yeah. And that first appearance of the Teen Titans in Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
And I also did get
that's on my list for this year.
I think you should read that. That whole villainy thing that goes on in there is so campy and so weird that I'm surprised that an issue 2 came out.
Yeah, well, this is a must-own. Love the Teen Titans. I do have the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. It just got sent to Justin. I'm sending it off to the Prez in-house signing at CGC that's being held at the end of the month, as well as Tales of the New Teen Titans 44, which is the first Nightwing, and the Teen Titans Annual that was proudly back here next to my Vigilante figure. So those were other ones this year. But the biggest book for me for this year has to be Hulk 180. I got 181 last year. Me and Chris decided this year that it was about the summertime we talked about, dude, let's just knock this trilogy out. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. It's not going to get any cheaper moving forward. So him and I both knocked our trilogy out in July, wasn't it? The end of July, early August?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we said, let's get it. So
let's
we
do
did.
it.
We got it.
Now I got to catch up again. But yes, we did it.
Yeah. But at least like it's going to be easier to get that 180 than it would to get that Spider-Man 2 probably.
Yeah. I have no problem picking up a low grade, like a 3 to a 4, 4.5 kind of thing.
I intentionally, like, this is not an expensive book, especially in a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Not in a 4 or 5, but it matches my set. Like my 181's a 4 or 5. This one I walked up on one day and it just happened to be a 4.0. So I know, especially being in an old CBCS case, like that's reason enough to send it to Justin, give it a little CPR, give it a crack, a press, and a resubmit, you know, and hopefully get matching set of 4.5 is what I want to happen. If you guys need help getting more shows, let me know. I will try to post it on Instagram. Let me know when you're going to post it. And try to. Oh, no worries, man. Just sit back and enjoy.
Kenneth Bird's a good dude. Thanks, man. Mike with truth bombs.
You remember those secretive conversations yesterday, Beckerman? The eyes are, as it pertains to that which these two guys are privy to now. You'll know, Becker. I'll just message you. You always say you want to get private messaged, so I'll privately message you tonight about it. I got first Black Lightning and first appearance of Heat Wave. They would be
Very
low
nice.
grade. Yeah, that's a good grabs.
Yeah, that's a good grab.
If it comes back at 5, we can damage it a bit. Very true. Yeah, I don't want it cleaned up too nice now. What's going on, legal burning? Dude, did y'all see what he posted? Did y'all see what he posted? That you know that golden foil comic, Spider-Man and Venom going head to head with like that explosive sparkly foil. He's doing one of those.
Yeah,
I saw him like, no way.
insanely talented.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's next level stuff.
Him being so talented is why so many of us aren't. You know, there's only so much talent out there in this talent hog.
Right?
Yeah, 375. I don't know. That sounds right. I'm going to agree with Nick. Yeah. So that's pretty much all. A year in recap there. Those are some of the highlights for sure. There's definitely a lot more. There's another book that I have that is probably my favorite pickup from this year, but I cannot share it yet because I have to use it on an upcoming show that's called Guess That Key. Subscribe to Sector 2815 on YouTube. It's Mr. Paul Cook. He's an awesome guy.
Good.
And he just started doing this show that he's going to try to do every other week where him, myself, Omega Reed, and Jesus, who run the podcast called Grail Tales, we all bring a key to the show, and it's like a round of 10 questions trying to guess the key. And the book that I just purchased, probably my most excited book of 2021, I'm taking to that show. So I can't let anybody know what it is because Paul will immediately know what book I brought.
Yeah.
He can't know. Yeah, I do not have cinnamon. I'll work on a cinnamon for you.
It is just after 10 o'clock. Didn't you want to do something at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm about to do the giveaway real quick. But I do appreciate that super chat, Remy.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the channel members out there, thank you guys so much. I cannot say thank you enough. I try to say it as much as I can. But each and every one of you guys, I appreciate y'all joining the channel. It helps out a bunch. It also helps to fund these giveaways. As y'all saw, I posted yesterday and shared it, but I just picked up an X-Men 4 and 5, the first appearance of Omega Red, to add to the giveaway for January. So I hope people like Omega Red. But giveaways for this month's Legion Loot, sponsored by Big Time Collectibles. That first book is United States of Captain America #4. This is the Mercado variant. First appearance.
Very good miniseries. Very good
Yeah,
miniseries.
First appearance of the
Native
from all over the world. Isn't the Native American one? She's Asian.
Is that the Filipino one?
the Filipino cap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next up is the convention exclusive Virgin variant for Miko Suyon Batman 89. Department of Truth issue number 13. This would be the Virgin variant. Like the trade dress has a regular Department of Truth trade dress. This is the Purple Rain homage. And then we got the X-Men Inferno Virgin variant, the Miko Suyon. And then you got the Ice Cream Man number 25, John Jang trade dress. those are the ones that are going in from Big Time Collectibles, and then we've got some more that we've added in. I've got Detective Comics 1045, the foil local comic shop day. So big shout out to the Augusta Book Exchange. That Task Force Z #2 foil local comic shop day. DC versus Vampires.
Yes.
Foil. Like that is a wicked cover.
Yeah. Green Lantern in all his sinister glory. Love it.
So speaking of sinister glory, Donny Cates Hulk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Star Trek now.
Yeah. So we got Donny Cates Hulk #1. I know a lot of people are excited about this run. I'm excited about it. I'm not necessarily happy with it yet, but I'm excited to see what it could be. A lot of potential there. Joe likes it. It's a metaphor, but
metaphor for nothing.
We got probably one of the coolest covers of the last month, and that's Swamp Thing #10, the B cover by Brian Bolland. So this is the finale to the second arc of Ron V's Swamp Thing. Third arc starts, and I think we get a month break because they decided to extend it late in the game. But
quite one of the best series of 2021.
Yeah, Ron V, dude, top writer of the year. Finally, we have that Blastin' and Stashin', Pocan Joe, Austin LeMay conglomerate here for Delta Dogs. As you see, big thank you to Austin. I sent him these books and he got them taken care of for me. So it will be a signed copy to the winner. So I appreciate you guys. Let me share this screen and put this wheel in here. Wheel.
That one doesn't even have an H in it.
Can y'all see this wheel? Because I can't see
wheel.
all anymore.
You see the wheel.
I don't see my name, but I do see the wheel.
No, you're definitely on there. Yeah, you're right there, Chris.
All right.
All right, so there's 34 names on the wheel, or 35, I'm sorry, 35 names on the wheel. There's 35 people in the Legion tier, the higher tier for it, the all capital letter tier. That's the tier. But yeah, let's spin this bad boy. Again, thank you to everybody who has joined. If you want to be entered for this monthly giveaway, just hit that join button. Join the all capital letter Legion tier. And Mr. DJ Links, you have 3 minutes to claim your prize.
And the first 2 minutes don't count.
Well, I think it was Friday. He did the Links box drawing. He said, y'all have X amount of time to claim your prize. I will not reach out to you, so I will pay him the same respect. DJ, you have, I don't know, how long should people get to claim their prize?
I got 10:25 here. I think 10:26 is fair.
Fair.
Usually like a
for
day,
the people in the chat. I think it's fair.
In a day or two.
Yeah, I'll give it 48 hours to claim your prize, and otherwise, send it to me. I drop it off. I promise. Yeah, 48 hours to claim the prize. I'm 1,000% sure DJ will claim the prize. That's why I didn't spin again for a second winner. It's just not it's not an option that he won't. That's like Chris not being here and not claiming, you know what I'm saying? He's going to claim the prize. I'm sure DJ got 5 messages as soon as it hit. Yeah. There's 28 people watching. Yeah. It's not like I would hit him up anyways. I talked to him.
Yeah, Ruben is correct.
Yeah. 48-hour rule.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the new rule, 48-hour rule. So I am going to be doing the 1K giveaway now that this is over with. I'm going to be hopefully getting that up first thing. Like a week from tomorrow, I'm hoping to upload the video for it. And there's a ton of stuff. So yeah, there'll be some claim your prize time limits on a lot of that crap, and stuff that doesn't go will just get thrown in the Legion loot box. There's some awesome stuff. Yeah. Are you guys pressed for time? I know it's already 10:30.
No, I was going to say that was one hell of a box, man. Good for you for giving away so
many. That was one
fantastic
box. Holy crap! I thought you were going to give away a couple of things.
Yeah, just that was incredible. That Purple Rain homage was great. Yeah, the John Jang. Yeah, man. Even that
And I
Ryan
do-
Otley cover for Hulk, I'm not a fan of that particular series, but that's a great cover. So yeah.
So, and just as a heads up, I did already point out, and I think I've already put it up, but I do have X-Men #4, the first appearance of Omega Red, then X-Men #5, which is that epic cover with him and Wolverine going at it, and Wolverine's like metal skeleton showing and all that. But also, I have another copy of that signed Austin LeMay exclusive that will be going to next month as well. Because I know there's always, I always saw people like when you did those prints, like a couple of months and stuff after the fact, like, oh, I wish I could have got one. So I ended up getting 4 copies. I'm only keeping one for myself. The other, you didn't get one?
Not of the Something's Killing the Turtles, no.
Oh, I about to say, I know you got one of these. I saw you got two. Yeah, I watch your videos, believe it or not.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. But yeah, good stuff. But I'll be including another one of those in next month's as well. So yeah, I'm sending them right back out.
Nice.
Yeah, and Heffy here has donated to the 1K giveaway. He donated a signed 9.8 Ryan Brown exclusive, as well as some loose. The signed is it's a 9.8 yellow label, but he also donated some loose exclusive variants as well. So it's a big giveaway. There's original art donated by Paul Cook from Green Lantern Annual 3, Volume 2, Annual 3. Yeah.
Very cool.
But anyways, I want to talk about some comics that came out this week because it was a huge week. Please tell me that Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Read of the week, bro. Read of the week, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's up there with my read of the week. It shares a spot with it. I like it. It's weird.
So weird.
It's
so
pure
weird.
Lemire. Pure Lemire. Yeah.
But that Mankey art, dude, that's the dream team right there. Like I know that Lemire's worked with Sorrentino a lot, and Sorrentino is just phenomenal in his own light. But you don't need a good writer with Sorrentino. He can carry the whole book by himself. Yeah. But Mankey's art, it reminded me a lot of Gary Frank. But yeah, go ahead, Joe. Take it off.
I thought it was interesting because I don't know a whole lot about these other elementals other than the green. So I did some quick research when I realized I was getting in deep into something I didn't understand. Got the whole backstory to the whole thing that like rot and the insects and all this other stuff, and they kind of have their own
the green,
yeah, right. They kind of have their own rules they have to follow, and they kind of pointed that out in here too. And just hey, we're done with humanity. They've done screwed everything up. It's water world now, so it's time for them to go. So who better to do it than bring back a negative version of Swamp Thing to drop them bodies, and then Constantine just going into the afterlife and just grabbing Alec, right, and bringing him back in as the hero of the story too. Those two always work well together as characters. It's kind of like the comedian and the straight man, and you kind of get that vibe in here too. But everybody's older because this takes place in the future. It's fun. It's fun, and there's something there, right? So let's see what happens with this going forward. I'm definitely picking it up.
It felt like Geiger Swamp Thing to me, like that same feel, like the post-apocalyptic. The artwork again, it just took me right to Gary Frank, and then it was just you can tell it's about to be savage because this was a black label book through and through.
Yeah.
And this new avatar of the Parliament, it's not the avatar of the green or the rot or the red. It's the avatar of the Parliament itself, which is, all three of them came together like butt cheeks and said, "Let's clean slate this planet." Yeah. And they just came in and started destroying townspeople, ripping them to shreds. It was cool because the whole time this small little village, it's getting it was like a Bug's Life, that old Pixar movie where
the wasps would come and steal all the food.
Yeah, the grasshoppers would come and steal all their supplies, make them do all the work, and then just come reap the reward. So you have like the people with the guns who fancy themselves tougher coming in and just taking what they want. And while they're doing this, a few people keep referencing this lighthouse. We need to go to the lighthouse. Like, we don't talk about the lighthouse. It's just a myth. There ain't nobody there. And the whole time I'm thinking, is that where Swamp Thing is? The Swamp Thing is
Fate. I was thinking like Dr. Fate and his tower.
Oh, like the Tower of Fate was the lighthouse. That would have been cool.
Right. That's
it wasn't even a lighthouse. Yeah. But yeah, when they got there and they opened the door and I saw John Constantine sitting there, like I read this at the end of the night. Exactly. I went and sat down and I was like, yes,
Yeah.
it's about to get lit.
Yeah.
The whole, for me, it was, the old man, John Constantine, this, because I've been used to the Ron V take over the last year, which was so fresh. We get a new Avatar of the Green. The character is a jerk. He's a total ass, not a nice person. And then we get this, and to me, this is I'm not sure if I should go there, but to me, it had that flavor of Alan Moore because it had both Swamp Thing and Constantine, two characters that he's tied to, around the waist. And it was just so welcoming. This book is just so welcoming. And I am not necessarily a fan of Lemire's outside of continuity type of story. So his alternative stuff, I'm not necessarily a big fan of it. I was hoping that this was not going to be something that should have been done in an Image title minus DC characters. But this is pure DC and violent. This is like something is killing the children level violence. Like people are getting messed up in this book. And it I had to say this because Lemire hit a home run. This is a great book. And I hope I believe it's supposed to be 3 issues, right, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this goes 6.
Extend this run.
At first I'm like, oh, really? Do we have to do like Green Hell? Like, is this a nod to Metallica covering Green Hell on Garage Days? But yeah, this is really what it is. This is Hell on Earth, and it's the perfect title. And yeah, it's
how smooth was that transition too when we get to the Parliament speaking? Like they're kind of making references early about how the old guy's crazy, he eats birds, and then they kind of pan away from the town and you see a dead bird. And then it starts talking.
Yeah.
And it's not talking when like the Parliament starts convening with each other. It's rotting, and it's talking, and it's an animal, and it's laying on the ground, So you had all the elements that you needed to have that conversation. I'm like, dude, this is just good. Yeah. Like they're putting the proper amount of time, effort, energy into it, and it shows.
Yeah, and it also goes to show that DC with Black Label is giving writers a lot more freedom. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those books where you get to see freedom being done.
And sometimes, to be honest with you, Chris, sometimes that's a really good thing. And sometimes it's not.
Right. Well, yeah, you're right. Like sometimes it's a real good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not.
And sometimes it's not.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't.
It doesn't have to have cunnilingus to be a good story, but sometimes it does. But yeah.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, Green Hell, that's 5 Maple Leafs out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I'd definitely give it a green.
Yeah.
Joe, you're going to have to work on your own rating scale.
I give it Manurple.
Okay, Manurple it is. Solid Manurple. That's not soft Manurple though, right? Solid Manurple.
Yeah, that's a solid
Manurple.
One would say opaque Manurple.
Look at the top.
I don't even know if Manurple's a thing. I just made that up.
My LCS did not get the majority of the DC stuff, so I missed out on DC versus.
Don't worry, Chris. I brought it all.
Yeah, I missed out on DC versus Vampires 3. I know, Joe, that you have read it. I know Mark has read it, and I know, and yeah. And
I have floppies up of it. That was the Superman cover this week too. The Matina Superman.
Right, and it to me right now it is the most looked forward to title that DC's pumping out for me. Right. I've been singing the praises of DC versus Vampires for 2 months now. Now that we're into the 3rd issue, hopefully my LCS gets the delivery of it for this Wednesday. But it's to me, Tynan's the one crafting it, but I don't even care like who's writing this. This is just so good, and the artwork is outstanding. So this is the part. If you guys are going to talk DC versus Vampires 3, I'm just going to put my headset down because I really don't want to get spoiled for this one. Just because it was my hot pick last week. So I really want to just not be spoiled. So if you guys want to talk about it, I'll put my headphones down.
Well, you didn't read it. He didn't read it either, and I already did my review of it. I can pass on. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So real
But I'm going to
quick,
tell you right now.
Comic Art Pro is, but there's been a ton of Superman clickbait since Action Comics 1037 because the way it ended on War World with his team getting decimated and him getting stabbed in the United Planets who are trying to step away from having to help him. Oh, Superman's dead. We declare him dead, so we're leaving him. So all these people who are they're just ready to jump on a sword for a cause. Like, they're killing Superman because they don't like his values anymore, and they're trying to champion. Like, dude, did y'all not read Future State?
Yeah,
Like, no, I didn't even get Superman dead vibes from watching him die in that last issue. I'm like, dude, Mongel's about to play with him like a toy. Like, he's going to kill him over and over. And no, they didn't want to listen to me. I took to numerous channels comment sections about that. Like, dude, just go read this. He's not dead. Oh, they said he's dead. So?
Ta-da! He's not dead.
Yeah. They don't even reference him dying. He was so not dead that they don't even touch on it in this.
Yeah.
He's just in chains. Like,
if they killed Superman, it would be on CNN. It would be on Fox News. It would be on every news outlet around the planet. They did it before. They don't need to do it again. They are not killing off Superman.
And they'll put out 50 million covers for it.
Right.
And I would buy them.
It wouldn't be in a random Action Comics. Trust me.
Yeah. But what? Real quick, I kind of went on a tangent. But what was the clickbait saying? Because the question is, what did DC Comics do to Superman? And they've done nothing but make him awesome again, by going back to his roots and getting Philip Kennedy Johnson to write him. But this was number. There's some good books this week. This is constantly in my top read of the week pile. But we kind of see the aftermath of his team getting decimated in that last issue and them getting settled into their chains on War World, where Mongol is just at this point going to start toying with them. Midnighter is running free. They did not get their hands on Midnighter, which we were hoping would happen because he was just tronzing around War World through multiple people's titles during Future State, just doing some awesome Midnighter stuff. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. But Superman has vowed not to leave until he can leave, having given all the people there the proper option to make their own decisions for their life and not just live this life of horrible servitude to this new Mongol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed the whole oratory right before then, the grand announcements of things to come and things to be and all that was happening there with that little gimp looking dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Mongol who was.
Yeah, I'm the first one to tell you, a little too. Sometimes comic books rely a little too heavy on their narration of the story, right? But this is theatrics at the end of the day, right? If you have a defeat, just like Rome did, you make it big, you make it known, everybody has to see it. It's a big spectacle, and I like that. And this whole concept with the chains and how chains are viewed in this section versus what they represent to another person and what they actually are in it. I think that's just super smart writing. Hands down, third favorite book this week.
Nice.
Yeah, 2021 was the return of Superman. Yeah. For those of you that haven't read Superman that think, oh, he's just a big dumb guy in a big blue suit or whatever. No, DC finally got it right. To me, the 2021 was a better year for Superman and the writers of Superman than Batman ever could be. Tynion let down the franchise title. Philip Kennedy Johnson with Action Comics and his run on the Superman title alone before it switched over to the Son of Kal-El was
who I'm sure EVS was probably referencing because he's been outspoken, huge critic against the idea of Jonathan Kent because he actually did break the news that DC was going to be bringing Jonathan Kent out as bisexual probably a good 6 months before they did.
Yeah.
So he is an insider. He's been outed from DC for a long time. He's got his own stuff going on or whatever, and he's part of that whole Comicsgate thing. I think that's like his shtick. But he's always quick to jump down anyone's throats for anything.
Yeah.
But I doubt that he would have, like, looking at the stuff that he complains about, I doubt he would have anything to say negatively about the Clark Kent Superman. It was probably the Jonathan Superman.
Yeah. But then again, if you only read like a handful of comic books and you're just doing it for content, to be the guy that says bad things about comic books.
And keep in mind, this is a guy that was fired from DC Comics. He kind of has a bone to pick with him. So he
did get fired by them. Yeah. And that was kind of a shady deal. He was wronged in that. There's no doubt about that.
He definitely was.
Yeah. And then him and a couple of his buddies, when they tried to launch their own, like he was doing something with Earthworm Jim, I believe, a few years back, and like got a lot of heat for it. So I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth between them, and
he's gone. Yeah, he's leaned in. He's turned it almost into a caricature because like he was like, you never heard him talking politics or this and that, but he did get fired because of his political opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And once that happened, he became a character. He became a character of that person who gets fired for their political opinion, and now he's actually been able to make a living off of it because plenty of people share his views, so that he has an audience and they enjoy his content. But yeah, he does like to. If you enjoy talking trash about a lot of stuff, you can find that on either side of the aisle. But he can definitely fill that void for you over there, I'm sure.
Just save time and watch my channel.
You were Taylor Winder. If you want negativity,
if you want your sarcasm detector to blow up before the warranty is over.
Chris, what's one you picked up or had a chance to read this week?
Green Hell was it for me for the reading, but I did pick up Stray Dogs, Dog Days #1, the franchise. This is 83. I'm halfway through this, so I don't really want to get in or do a review on it. Devil's Reign #2.
Yeah, I'm behind on that. I've got
Taskmaster, by the way, everyone.
Yeah,
and Timeless.
Where's the other cover
for
Timeless? The one with the little clock from the Loki show that everyone's like, "This is a key now. It's got a clock on it."
I went with this one.
All I got. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The way Joe said, "Oh, is that your read of the week, Joe?"
Yeah, it's my read of the week.
Nice.
I thought this was right. Oh, it's so easy to say Kang has an ego, right? And he's egotistical or narcissistic. And that's just sloppy, lazy writing. When this professor actually comes down there and sees the reasons why he does and how he challenges himself and all this other stuff, I was just like, damn, you got it, brother. I was kind of impressed with the writer in this one. Right?
Kang had a good year. Because Kang had a miniseries this year, and that was very good as well. Like Kang had a good year for comic books.
Yeah, the tail end of the year, they really started rolling them out strong.
Yeah. They didn't drop the ball by bringing the character back to the forefront.
Yeah. And I like the way this started with the kind of like a whole Craven thing, which I like, right? So you got, instead of doing the noble savage stick archetype in this one, you did the intellectual savage, right? Where he's like super smart, he can do things, but he does have this savagery about him, and they really accentuated that in this story, and I thought that was ingenious.
Let's say, yeah, Heffy, the actor that's signed on to play Kang, I believe, signed a five
Jonathan Majors
5 appearance, yeah. So 3 films, 2 miniseries, or 2 films and 3 miniseries. So yeah, we're gonna get a lot more Kang.
Was that after that episode or before?
The Loki counts as one of the miniseries. So yeah,
right.
So I think he has.
I did see a
more to go.
A production crew shirt for Ant-Man Quantumanium, and like if you're working on movies, they give you swag and stuff. And the production crew image was a picture of Scott's helmet, just sitting there, no head in it, just the helmet, and it was fractured and broken, and a reflection in the eye piece that was still there, not broken. The Kang was in the reflection. It was a really cool image.
Yeah. Yep. As long as they don't Taskmaster him, everything will be okay.
See, Timeless felt undercooked. These yearly setup books normally have a more full layout. Don't know a lot about Spoiler, But if I was a fan, that last page. Oh, this is a full spoiler show.
Yeah.
Feel free to speak freely about anything you'd like to spoil on this show. But if I was a fan, that last page would have blown me away. Was this a one shot or is this going to be a mini?
Let's take a look.
That's what I'm confused about. It doesn't really say so. It ends hard, right? But then everybody's like it's a series, and I'm not really sure.
All right, so I'm seeing. Oh, we're gonna get a new Maestro, World War M.
A who? Oh Christ!
Yes.
Now I have to pick this up.
Oh man!
Oh no,
look at
what's the
that.
ad? He's talking about the last page in the book.
Oh, sorry.
World War M, though. And what did you call that book? Maestro?
Maestro World War M by Peter
Maestro.
David. No,
No.
no.
Dude, I've loved those so far. I like that they're doing them in miniseries as well.
So Kang is having a conversation with Petrov. So this is, this
Oh,
is the
yeah.
final
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I heard this. Miracle Man's coming back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they kind of alluded to that too. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the.
Yep. Miracle Man's coming back. So
yeah.
I don't know how much of an influence like the actual books will have on the other books like that. Normally these days, the film properties kind of drive the speculation market just because it plays to a wider audience, But that was Grant Morrison's run, right? Or was it Alan Moore that did the Miracle Man? It was Alan Moore. That was before
Alan
Grant
Moore.
Morrison. Yeah, that was Alan Moore. I don't know why I get those names confused. But yeah, that little miniseries is probably going to see some attention here soon. It's a cool character. I wonder how they're able to bring him back or why they waited so long. I know that there's a lot of legal issues that happen with that character's name, like with the Captain Marvel stuff and the Miracle Man stuff. He goes back a long ways, like in different iterations and stuff. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Alan Moore, then it was finished by Neil Gaiman and Grant Morrison. Thank you, Beckerman. He's like a comic book thesaurus. I love him. Another one I picked up was Teen Titans. So they're kind of finally playing into the missing aspects from Future State with the whole 4 Riders of the Apocalypse and the visions that Raven was having. And it looks like Dane, a.k.a. Nevermore, that Prince from Hell, is going to be the catalyst for it. And him and Red X are running around right now trying to make sense of what their life's going to look like moving forward, because Red X was trying to save all these kids from the future of being a Titan, which is just a future filled with lies, death, and what have you. And Red X ended up cutting off Simon's head just on a whim. It was pretty violent. So they're running around to hell. The Titans are trying to catch up to him, find out what's going on. I need to get through this story. It's not a bad story, but I'm ready to be done with anything that ties to last January.
Right.
Either of y'all reading this, Jim?
No.
It's so bad it's good. Like I have a blast reading this. It's not. I don't think it's bad.
That's that Freaky Friday book.
Yes, I don't know how it's so good. I don't think it's good like inherently, but there's something just absolutely fun about reading it. But the whole thing was an interrogation, in which gave us the chance for the bad guy to grandstand and tell you exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. I'm like yes, but they did it in a cool fashion. That this is called Aquaman Green Lantern or Green Arrow Deep Target. And they did it cool because just like on the cover, they were both chained up facing each other with him standing in the middle of them. So they kept, and this was kind of a waste of space, but they give you the perspective from Ollie looking at the guy and give you his dialogue. Then right next to it be the perspective from Arthur, same dialogue. And they did that for 2 pages. So it's like it was really just 1 page. I'm like, this is dumb. I thought like it was some kind of time loop for a second. I'm like, oh wait, it's just a perspective. But it's fun, man. I don't recommend, like I've said this each issue, I do not recommend this book to anybody.
Guilty pleasure book.
But it's fun.
Nice. share something I didn't like this week. Gotta share that. So I picked up this Rise of Dracula.
Oh yes.
Did you read it?
No, but I saw the I saw the solicitation for it.
Yeah, this is horrible. This does the ultimate comic book sin. It launches you right into a story where something else has happened in another book or another story or something is attached to this in some way, shape, or form, and they don't bother telling you any of it. So apparently vampires took over DC. Don't ask why. The book doesn't tell you. Apparently and it gets kind of political, right? It does the political thing where perception and what freedom fighters are versus rioters, and there's a whole goose stepping scene in here, right? It's just really bad. And it's not done, it's done so on the nose, it's obvious, right? There's no subtlety to it. And the dialogues is awkward. Like, this is not how people talk in any manner or way, shape. It's just bad. And it's not nothing against the writer. I'm sure he had to put something out quickly or whatever, but they can't all be good. And unfortunately, this is one of those ones that's not good.
Iggy said it's a sequel to Cult of Dracula.
Okay, so yeah, that makes it even worse.
Damn.
Wow.
So I picked up Detective Comics 1046. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I read this, but I do not remember what it was about. I just remember they were doing something.
Bruce leave Gotham City in that, or get to the edge of Gotham City?
Dude, I honestly don't remember. That's how good it was, I guess. I remember the Arkham Rising story in the back of it because Batman, Harley, and the nut job in the tower kind of have it out. The dude was just trying to blow up the tower, and they took him out. It wasn't really much to it. It wasn't a ghost or a ghoul. It was just crazy ex-worker. It was in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was just kind of a where's everybody at kind of thing with the Bat family. And we do get Batman in his Joshua Williamson suit. But it was a Bat family focused book because more than anything, it's not supposed to be a send off for Fear State. It's supposed to be a lead into the Shadow of the Bat thing, which I'm really excited about. That 12-week self-contained event for Detective Comics with Mariko Tamaki's writing it. Ivan Reis is doing the artworks.
Okay.
Yes, love me some Ivan Reis. And yeah, it was just a where's everybody at kind of thing. You get to see Batman for a second. You get to see the whole Bat family just kind of popping around through the city, just doing pointless antics in the city just to be present. There's nothing to it. There it is. That's what I was looking for. That event. This cover art that's going to be on all these is about to be insane.
That almost looks like photography. It's beautiful.
It does.
I see Fresh News says DC really needs to get in order. It's so hard to get into any of these books as they have no future buildup. It feels like another 6 months before that'll happen. My man, you have to be reading Suicide Squad. Yeah,
I was going to say I couldn't agree more. I mean, I couldn't disagree more as somebody who reads pretty much their whole catalog. They've kind of got their continuity really, really in order right now, and we kind of figured it out like right off the bat when we hit the Infinite Frontier era that Suicide Squad is the actual backbone of the continuity. They started out by tying it in and kind of time stamping it with the Batman books with the 8A attack. Then they moved over and crossed over with Swamp Thing. They've crossed over with the Teen Titans. They've been able to timestamp and connect everything via that book. And currently, the previous 2 issues of Suicide Squad, they were on OA, time stamping it to Green Lantern. And I think that if you're trying to look for a bigger picture, like kind of event wise, you need to be following Joshua Williamson's body of work because he was actually instrumental in crafting a lot with this Infinite Frontier stuff going into it. He just took over Batman. He's running Deathstroke Inc. He's running Robin, and he's going to kind of bring those 3 together for a mini event coming up, as well as he's doing the Justice League Incarnate book, where we have this dark side that's been teased since last March. So that's going to be your next big cosmic scale event that we get. But they're actually like out of the big 2, they're the kind of the continuity holders right now. but they've had this last year to refresh and restart. It's just been taking this year to kind of get enough books out there to kind of show you where everything is. But I'm a continuity hound though. Like I could explain continuity during death metal.
Yeah.
I was doing this. Like, well, there's these 10 issues of Snyder's Justice League. Then you got to go over here to Hell Arisen. But then you need this one shot over here. It was crazy. Don't forget Flash Forward. You know, it was nuts. Suicide Squad feels self-contained to me. Ugh,
They've been popping up in a lot of titles.
yeah. The first issue they were in Batman. Then they immediately went to Teen Titans and Swamp.
Yeah, they were there.
They went to Earth 3.
Actually.
Yeah, they went to Earth 3 for the Crime Syndicate 6-issue miniseries. They haven't spent a self-contained issue yet.
They were even Teen Titans Academy.
Yeah.
They
were in there when the Red X. Yeah, when Red X busted through there.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, but whenever someone to me currently wants to talk continuity, unless you're talking Black Label or Elseworld stuff, read Suicide Squad, and you can get a flavor for basically almost everything that's happening outside of Superman Kal-El being on War World. That's the only part where they haven't touched yet, and who knows, that could happen because they're traveling off world. So we'll see, but I doubt it at this point if they're to show up in War World. But
no, I don't see a world changing event from Suicide Squad. We're just talking about like when you're talking about getting their house in order, they're using Suicide Squad to keep their house in order.
Yeah, the guys think of it as stitching. When you stitch something together, they're the thread that are just kind of jumping in and out of all the patchwork.
Yeah, for world changing event, I think that it's going to be Williamson, like you just mentioned, fresh, and I do think it is further away because, the classic format and trope of DC and Marvel both having a world changing summer event. It's like those pay-per-views for wrestling, like the Monday and Thursday shows are great and everything, but they're not really trading belts out to the pay-per-view. Like, I think people started getting upset with that, and that's why DC kind of canceled the 5G plans. They had Dan DiDio step down, and they completely decided to go a different direction. And I think we need to wait a little while before. I'm a cosmic fan when it comes to this stuff. Like, I hated the fact that 3 Jokers didn't go cosmic, but we need a little bit of time to build up to it. I think they're doing it really well with the way they're rolling this stuff out in its respective places. We still don't have a firm explanation and understanding of what the Omniverse is. We've been teased about its layout. We have Darkseid trying to maneuver his way through it. We just had the Justice League Incarnate formed. Characters like Dr. Multiverse just introduced that would be instrumental in stuff like this. So you can see where they're crafting it. Clear as day where it's being built up. But when it's going to actually pop, it's going to be a little bit of time. I mean, at summertime would be the absolute earliest I would expect, and I would still expect it to be like a lead-in event at best. That's just me, though. That's a perfect world.
The way things should be.
Suicide Squad is like the Forrest Gump of DC Comics. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing because Forrest Gump's like one of the best films ever made. But yeah, okay. Forrest Gump ties together American history if you want to look at it that way, right? But yeah.
Speaking of big stories getting made into smaller stories and things happening all over the place and all kinds of excitement, Devil's Reign.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the one book, the only book on my entire pool list or my read list for this week that I didn't read because I suck at this digital thing still. I'm probably gonna have to remind myself that every Sunday. I suck at like getting my digital.
I'm enjoying this. One, we got a classic Wilson Fisk doing mayor shit, right? That's his thing. We got heroes. All the bad guys are now the law enforcement, right? Oh, nice covers. right? So you get that, all the heroes being outlawed. Even the superheroes are going to start having a conflict here because Tony Stark's like, yeah, I'm going to run for office. I'm going to take this office.
Yes.
And like all of his friends are like, no, let Luke Cage do it. And Luke Cage is like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Tony Stark's like, well, I guess I'll just flip the bill. And you can see that little pissed off look they illustrated on him. So I know there's going to be a conflict from that. So I think that's going to be exciting. And we need some superheroes fighting each other again. Why beating up on the bad guys all the time? That's just rude. So yeah, a lot of people, the main arc in this is people having to fight their pasts, right? All these arch enemies that they've had in the past, they're getting back face to face with them again. Tables have turned in the eyes of the law at this point. So I like that. I like that when it gets turned around, because now what does the hero do when they're not legally the hero? So yeah, let's see what they do with that. I'm enjoying this. I really, and I'm not a Daredevil fan. Like, I don't own any Daredevil. I don't read Daredevil, but I'm enjoying this.
So it got past the
Zdarsky, though. It's a Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, past the magistrate format that the issue 1 was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to stay there too long. Did it kind of lead into who the rich people on the boat, the puppet string pullers are?
The purple guy's kids, yeah.
That was his kids? That's who they were?
Those were his kids. And they're rich and they're bored and they're just starting trouble. They're like the Kardashians.
Also,
that was smooth. Oh my god!
This has turned out to be a great show. Great show. Forrest Gump, Kardashians, like this is great.
So many callbacks. Yeah, they're just bored and starting trouble. They're like the Kardashians. Jeez. I know nobody wants to hear about it, but we got 2 Power Ranger books out this week. This is the first issue of like the spinoff series, just kind of touching on different stuff in Power Ranger mythos and lore. They're kind of focusing in on this character called the Phantom Ranger who appeared. It was kind of a big mystery back in the old series and everything. So they're kind of rolling out an origin story for him. So it's a lot of unfamiliar territory, which was really fun, but it was poorly written. So that was unfortunate.
That was like the fastest of review I've ever heard. You can take a breath, brother.
Yeah, but nah.
You even blurred your camera. You went so fast there.
That's where we're moving focused up here. This is Power Ranger issue number 14. This was fire. This is the Eltarian War that's been going on. There are 2 main Power Ranger titles, Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin. And they go back and forth between one another. And the teams have crossed paths now. They're all stuck together trying to fight these impossible odds. You have Zordon's old race of beings that came to Earth to take over Earth and get the power coins. And they decimated the command center. They decimated Zed's palace on the moon, and they decimated the high-tech think tank called Promethea. That is the one that have the Green Ranger that isn't part of the actual team. It's their own Ranger. And so they're all just kind of in shambles, and they're kind of making their comeback. Zordon actually has a mobile body, so he's getting to actually move arms and legs for the first time in 10,000 years, and he's kicking ass. Like, it was, dude, that was awesome.
That's
Like,
that floating head thing, right?
Yeah, he's so just think if that floating head, like I think Arnold Zoloff from, like, just take that consciousness and put it in a body. He's got the floating head.
Wizard of Oz and what's behind the curtain.
No, Zordon's not like a small old handicapped man with a weird lisp. No, but Zordon actually made this comment to somebody. Like, he's sitting there, like, weapons drawn. He's like threatening him, like, you can either give up or this is going to go poorly. And I promise you, the power will not protect you. Because that's kind of his saying, like, ever since day one, may the power protect you when he's sending them off into mission. I'm like, oh my God. Like, yes. Like, it was so good. It was so good. But anyways, enough Power Rangers.
Everything else was just kind of, only got 3 more. I got the Justice League. The Royal Flush Gang is back, and they stole the Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude, yeah. But why?
Is that because he's off planet?
Dumb.
No,
not in this run. No.
Okay.
This is not really this doesn't have a footing anywhere.
No, it's just kind of just some random events. It's almost like it's like an arc within an arc, right? It's like, hey, we got a series going on. Let's squeeze in a quick 2 issues here. Who do we got we haven't used in a while? Hey, remember the things that dressed up like cards and ran around? Let's use those guys. And
I'm not gonna lie, I like the Royal Flush Gang.
oh, I do
Like,
too. I have the first
cool
appearance.
characters.
These are, I don't know. These are kind of weird. I'm not digging this particular group.
Yeah, I didn't have too big of a problem with the issue, other than it really didn't get to like why are they doing it? You know, they don't even know why they're doing it. And I know that big shout out to the Kirby character Manhunter version 2.0. That's Leviathan. You know, Mark Shaw. But I didn't keep up with the whole Event Leviathan thing. So I'm kind of in the dark on that. Checkmate. I read issue 1, and this is really just a callback to that Checkmate series. It's tied in with that. So I didn't read that. So I'm a little in the dark here, a little catching enough of the context. But
I think the last thing I did with Leviathan is when their big comeback, that big, event that they had. I followed it up to the big event, and then I was like, oh, look, this is, like, I like a good spy story, but that's just too much for me. I'm done. And moved on to something else.
Yeah, and at the moment, like Justice League, like he's mentioned, is not important right now. Like, it's not, for some reason, it's not meant to be important. This should be like their flagship title. Avengers should be the flagship title. Like, that should be like the place people go just to like jam out the comic books. You know what I mean?
Just to kind of spawn everything off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But right now, it's just kind of, I don't know how much. I don't want to say it's bad writing. I just think book is like seriously getting hit by like this early era of everything rolling out, because so much is happening in these individual titles. It actually does hold weight. There's a lineup of little mini events about to happen, and this is just kind of getting stepped on by those other titles that are going into their own events. We've had Checkmate step into here. We've had Deathstroke Incorporated step into here, which are all going to have stuff going on elsewhere. So I don't know what they're doing other than just treading water with this right now.
Yeah. But it's a quick story, because you can't really do a long story with the Royal Flush Clan. They're pretty much sea level thieves at the end of the day.
It was cool when Ace didn't want to back off and stick to the plan because he got too big for his britches. That went south for him.
That was kind of funny. But for all in all, it's a very forgettable book. I do know for a fact they mentioned that stupid zoo in the Fortress of Solitude 4 times, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
The alien zoo. And I'm like, stop talking up. Nobody cares about the alien zoo.
Did you read? Please tell me you've been reading the Justice League Dark, though.
Oh,
Ron V's Justice League Dark is
woo magic. Yeah, I read that.
Dude, it's fantastic. Like, that's another place where you can see big hints at a big event with this Darkseid character, because in the annual, we found out that Merlin actually got bestowed with this mission and this power because the little piece of his humanity that was left in him was actually taken out of him by Darkseid's father, who was a shattered piece of the Source Wall. Right. So it's still going back to Darkseid here in a sense, but dude, they're in a bad way. In this
everything is Darkseid. I made that my debate. Darkseid is
right. That was a fun debate, man. That really was. Flashpoint put on a good effort with it too. He came correct.
Oh yeah, Flashpoint was the only real way he could bring to me that was.
Yeah, that was his name too, though. Flashpoint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his
Flashpoint Comics. That's the name of his channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. We talked afterwards and stuff. He even admitted, he was like, "Yeah, I tried. Like, I had Flashpoint, and even then, it was mostly the Justice League." And I was like, "Yeah." And again, I tried to stay away from Flashpoint and all that other stuff, but so yeah.
Becker's stuck on this. When you're that badass, you wear a tunic. It's just a rule.
Yeah. Or a romper.
A romper. I got 3 more. How many you got? What do you got?
I got 2.
All right, well, I'll do 1. Hold those up.
Task Force Z and Robin.
I don't have either of those. Superman 78 was pretty cool. He got out of the bottled city of Kandor, back to Earth, and stopped Brainiac from ripping Metropolis out, knocked off some Brainiac bots, and it was faced toe-to-toe with Brainiac in his like big beat-em-up suit, and that's where it ended off. Love this series. If you love the old movies, you'll love this series. If you don't read it.
Robin, so we finally ended the whole Lazarus Pit demon
Oh,
thing.
thank God.
And Damien learns a lesson like, hey, if we all work together, we'll beat the demon together. It came like an epiphany. Stupid, horrible ending to what I was kind of hoping would be kind of just kind of cool, right? But then we get flushed into this other story where he meets his grandfather sometime in the past where they're like, where riding camels in the desert was a thing, right? That's how far back they've gone. I don't know the
That's
actual
how old Damien is.
right? So he got warped into the past. We don't know why. He just welcome to the past, and that happened. So yeah.
Did is Ra's al
Teamwork
Ghul
makes the
dead
dream
yet?
work.
Has Ra's al Ghul been killed by Deathstroke yet?
Yeah, it's it
That's
started off good. I enjoyed this in the beginning, and then like all of a sudden it was like, you're doing that. Thanks.
Yeah, I dropped that after issue 3 or 4 when I just decided this book doesn't know what it wants to be. Like when they're all of a sudden, for whatever purpose, they decided that these assassins, these murderers, these supervillains are now teenagers, kids in this scene, and forget that they've been trained and they're adults. You know, they shouldn't really act like it. Just wasn't for me. It's too flip floppy on its tone. But I do not know which actor Brainiac is supposed to have his likeness in. I talked about that early on. I wonder if there's an actor from that era that Vendetti kind of envisions that he wanted Brainiac to resemble, because Brando, Jor-El has Brando's likeness. They're crushing Reeves' likeness, like spot on.
Well, I think Tom Selleck.
No mustache. No mustache. Slick as a seal Selleck. No hair.
No hair.
Don't people still ride camels? Yeah, I guess they do. Not around Augusta though. Not here. I would notice if someone's riding a camel. That'd stand out like a sore thumb.
No, we ride polar bears up here, so I'm not sure what camels would be.
They wouldn't last long. Flash 777 was pretty cool. That last issue was super meta with Dr. Fate and Flash going through the two-dimensional world, trying to get ahead of beating Eclipso and his little plan. It ended him at Gem World with the Justice League Dark after Eclipso made his little path through there. So they had to go unleash a character that I'm not familiar with who's has to do with Gem World, some obsidious dude who is chained up or something underneath the
Obsidian. Yeah, he's the big bad in Gem World with Amethyst and all that.
Yeah, something like that. It's not Obsidian because that's Hal's son, but it was something like that. And he's like purple or bluish color and stuff.
He's got
a purple
color to him, jagged edges. Yeah.
So he's chained at the bottom of this Diamond City, and they go down there asking him because he can kind of get an idea of what Eclipso might be up to. And they found out that Eclipso is wanting to use Gem World as basically an amplifier, because the quartz, the crystals, he can like amplify his whatever through crystals, kind of like a watch. I don't know. I don't remember the little details. It's woo-woo. But
that fits.
But Flash is like, well, it looks like y'all got it from here. I'm gonna head on home then. And they're like, well, no, because so far you've been the only person not affected by him because of the Speed Force and what it is this clarity since the events of the first of this run, how his return to the land of the living and everything. He's just a whole new mindset. So by the end of it, the entire Justice League Dark is under the influence of Eclipso, just staring down at Wally. So it should be starting off with a bang with the next issue.
All right. Chris, did you talk about all your books? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Just green
time or not.
The other ones I haven't had a chance to get through.
Yeah. Task Force Z #3. Look, this is just stupid fun. There's nothing really deep about this, and even at times it can be a little boring. I'm enjoying it because I like zombies. Zombie villains walking around, and this Bloom character in here, super creepy. I'm digging that cat. Like, I want to have a beer with that dude. Because he's just weird. I love the characters in it. I love our new character in it, Deadshot killed Todd again, right? Brings him back to life, and it's like, okay, cool, you can be on the team of zombies. because you're a zombie too for some reason. I don't know. A lot of things do not connect in this, but I can't help but read this, which proves that I even read bad comic books myself.
Sometimes they're fun.
It does happen.
Yeah. Paul, I don't know if you mean that in a literal sense. If you do, in a literal sense, absolutely. If there's meant some kind of underlying meaning to this phrase, I don't know. You might have to pay me.
Where can I board my camel at your place? That's crazy.
If someone tried to board a camel with me at work, I would take it, because I have like this big. I would pretty much take anything except like a bear or an alligator or something like that. Because we do have like this whole outdoor fenced-in area. Like we could put a horse back there. If I could put a horse back there, I could put a camel back there, an alpaca, stuff like that. Bring your own food though. I don't have camel feed laying around. Last book of the week, and also at the top of my pile, Tom King's Human Target. Wow, this is good. Like this is legit good. Masterfully crafted. This is super dope. So Christopher Chance is running a full-scale investigation on the Justice League International about who could have taken the hit out on Lex Luthor that he took the shot for, but it wasn't a bullet, it was poison. So he's got 12 days left to live. 12-issue series, so each issue is the next day, so his clock's winding down. And in this issue, Guy Gardner actually comes to him pissed off because he spent the last issue with Ice, Guy Gardner's girlfriend. And so it was like a machismo off, like Guy Gardner like fussing at Ice while she's riding around with Christopher Chance. Like he just pulls up next to him in like a construct car, and him having to one up and find a way to outdo Guy Gardner.
Your dad's pretty good.
That was a good line. Holy crap. I'm using that. I've done stole that.
Make like a plane and jet and take off.
But this is really good because it keeps having like these really cool kickers, like where it's not what it seems like on the surface. And at the end of each issue, they kind of hit you with the zinger where it kind of changes the context of everything that he was doing in the issue and the way that he was moving through his day around these people. Because it comes off like, is he getting played by this girl kind of thing? And then at the end, he hit the zinger where he just played her the whole issue kind of thing to gather all this intel from her and stuff. But it's really cool. They're supposed to be going to Ted Cord and trying to get some answers in the next issue. And I highly recommend Human Target.
Good stuff.
But that's all I got for my reads for this week. It was a big week. It was a really big week. Next week's thankfully a little bit smaller, so I'll be able to try to catch up on a few back issues as well.
Nice.
Y'all got anything else for tonight?
No, I think we've covered it all. An entire year, a week's worth of comic books.
In 2 hours and 7 minutes.
We could talk about the book of Boba Fett.
Let's not.
Ain't much to talk about.
Let's wait to an issue. Let's wait for the second episode before I jump too hard on this. Remember my comment earlier about old people fighting?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you were the first person I saw make that comment that I wish they would just keep his helmet on and let the stunt actors do what they're paid to do.
Yeah, just let God.
I will say pretty man episode, but it was awesome getting to visually see him get out of the Sarlacc, which we knew he did. So that was cool. But I'm with Chris. I give it at this point from episode 1, it gets a yellow.
Gets the yellow.
Not good, not bad, just yellow.
Yeah,
I'm on a kerfluffle on my rating scale. Kerfluffle.
I get 2 maple leaves out of 5. You can't even make maple syrup out of it. It was just yeah.
I'm tired of complaining about that show.
1 episode in. That's it. I'm done. Let's just talk.
Well, I definitely appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Thank you to all the channel members. Congratulations to the winner of this month's Legion loot box, and be on the lookout for definitely read of the week right there. But yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be on the lookout. I've got a CGC unboxing for tomorrow, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to have a comic close-up ready for Wednesday, though, so I'm going to do something else. I don't know. I might do one of those silly little 2022 gold videos or something like that. Sounds fun. Sounds fun. Never done one of those. Seems easy to make, so I think I might just do that. But until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.